Hello, my name is Jitchaya H. I'm in Mathayom 4/5. Today I'm going to talk about two topics. First, I'll talk about my opinion on the video of the best invention by watchmojo.com. Do I agree with this list? Why or why not? And then I'll move on to the next topic. That is, if I could invent anything, what would I invent and why? Now, let's begin to the first topic. I fully agree with this list because all of that 10 things are important and necessary for our life. Can you imagine the life without electricity? How can we study while the COVID-19 pandemic without electricity? We can't, right? Another illustration is water. Why is water essential? As I researched the information from the Google, the average of water in human body is 60%, which means if you don't drink water for 3 days, you will dehydrated and die. So this is why water is important. Let's turn now to the next topic. If I could invent anything, what would I invent it? I'll invented the application that can help to communicate people and notify the natural disaster, outbreaks area, or emergency alert on every cell phone to help everyone to evacuate and to deal with the situation. Nowadays, all of us are trying to deal with the COVID-19. I think if we have this app, we could deal with this circumstance easier. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Natcha. I'm from the Purple Classroom and my number is number 5. Today I'm going to be talking about inventions. Basically, there are two things I want to talk about. First is why I agree with the list, and then we'll move on to what I want to invent. So, the main reason why I agree with the list is because after watching the video, I honestly had a pretty hard time trying to figure the 11 invention out. Because all of the stuff that I came out with before is already an innovation of those inventions in the list. Moving now on to what I want to invent. I want to create an application that allows people from all around the world to be able to access and install, of course. Since I'm in the math science program, I want to make this app about biology. This will help people improve their learning skills on biology. There will be the thing called AR included, or what you call an augmented reality. AR is what you can see in many applications these days, such as Pokemon Go, the famous game since last year or a couple years ago, where you scan the flat surface and then there will be a character popped up in front of you. But in my case, there will be a cell popped up in front of you. Because for me, when you get to see the actual structure, it's better than having to imagine it all by yourself. Finally, these are the points I want to make today. Hopefully some of my ideas could inspire some of you out there. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys will have a great one. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Buddhasuda N. So today we are going to talk about invention in our world. There's so many types of it, but I would like to talk about the top 10 invention according to Watch Mojo channel. I'm going to divide this talk into two parts. First is about my opinion towards the list, and second is about my own invention. Let's go! Let's begin with my thought about the top 10 invention. I agree with it because all of the 10 things are important to our life, not only me but for everyone. For example, paper is the starter letter communication since we can send the word to others that far away. Moreover, it helps to keep evidence in terms of document. Next example is medicine. It allows people to recover from illness and can live longer. Electricity is also a great example to talk about. It is the basic need of people because we have to use electricity to charge our facility in the house. We can imagine our life without electricity, especially for big industry and companies that have to use it for the most part of their work. Therefore, I think these 10 inventions are proper enough to be the top of every invention. Let's move on to our second part, my own invention. I will create a robot called Relationship Robot. It is the robot that keeps all memories, personality, and ability of people in our family. In case of losing some members, the robot can mimic all of that person's personality pattern. The robot will memorize their story and people's personality by scanning fingerprints and scanning their body. The robot can be used and controlled by using application that everyone can install, but you have to buy a robot, then you will get the password to access the app. It's easy to use this product, and everyone can be relationship robot user. I designed this robot because in the future, many countries will change into aging society and many people will die. Thus, people will feel lonely and miss someone who passed away. This robot will make you feel better when you are missing them. In addition, if you have to work or study far away from home, you can feel that your family member is always beside you. To sum up, most of inventions help people to be more comfortable and convenient, but these top 10 are like the foundation of every invention. My invention also need electricity as well. This is the end of my talking today. Thank you for listening. Bye!
Hi, my name is Natcha B. I'm in room 4/5. My number is 18. So today I'm going to talk about the top 10 invention of all time video. Let's start by talking about the opinion. So I would say that I agree with the list in that video, which include paper, the compass, refrigeration, the printing press, plumbing, medicine, engine, wheel, communication, and electricity. This because all of these are very important to our life and very influential in the present. For example, like electricity. It can give the lights when it's dark, give the energy to electric devices like microwave. Or when you charge your smartphone, you have to use electricity, right? Also paper. As the video said that many new things will not be invented if we don't have paper, like maps, books, or even the printing press. Okay, so this is so much about the opinion. Let's turn on to the next question. If you could invent anything, what would you do? So mine is create bacteria test machine. As this COVID-19 situation, we have to protect ourselves more safety. So you cannot be sure the things around you if they're clean and safe or not. Now, I like to present the product that can scan by irradiated the things. Then it will show you the percent of the bacteria on the screen of that things. Like if there are more than 70%, you have to hurry clean that stuff and be more hygiene. Okay, to put it another way, this is my new technology invention idea. Hope you enjoy it and thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, my name is Natsinee R. I'm in room 4/5 and my number is 19. The topic for today is the best invention. Basically, I have two things to say. My opinion about the top 10 inventions of all time video and my invention if I can invent anything. First of all, from the list of the top 10 inventions of all time, I rather agree with all of the list because all of these inventions makes our life more comfortable and it let us do everything easily. For example, wheel and engine let us travel, compass let us find the way or direction, and medicine let us recover from our illness. I think these inventions are very important nowadays, and we may not be able to live without this invention. And I also feel very appreciated with those people who invent this invention on the list because I think that these inventions are very precious and they may have a hard time to invent their invention, but it came out like very well and very necessary to our life. That is all I want to say about the best inventions of all time. Moving on now to my invention if I can invent anything. The invention that I want to invent is coronavirus disinfection capsule. Nowadays, if we talk about what is the most dangerous, I guess the answer will be coronavirus. In Thailand, the infection people increase like every day, and it seems that it's hard to flatten the curve. So this invention is a capsule in which if people get into it, it will disinfect the coronavirus in your body, then you will be fine. This invention can make people recover faster, and I think it will decrease the problem of doesn't have enough bed for COVID-19 infection people and the death toll. In short, I think this invention will be useful and it will help solving COVID-19 crisis. Thank you.
Hello. So I'm going to talk about the top 10 inventions of our time. And briefly, I have about 2 things to say. Let's start by discussing about whether I agree with the list or not. So the first one is electricity. Second is communication. Third is the wheel, and then medicine, plumbing, the printing press, refrigeration, compass, and finally paper. For me, I actually agree with the list. I feel like electricity is the most important scientific discovery in the world in this period of time. I would like to point out the fact that it is a discovery because electricity is a form of energy and it occurs in nature. So it was not invented. Electricity allows us to create different useful things such as devices, apps, or other products, in which it helped to develop the modern technology to make it more convenient for us, which I feel like is the key of technology. Next, I'm going to talk briefly about the rest, not really going into that much details, but talking in general. I feel like the others are things that help our life to be much more easier, but I personally still think that electricity is the most important thing right now. It helps us not only in one way, but it helps us in nearly every ways. That's all I have to say about the list of inventions. Moving on now to the question, if I could invent anything, what would it be? I feel like people always lost stuff, and I want to design an application that allows us to be able to find things that we lost. Some stuff are very important and we take it for granted. The significance of this is that no matter what it is, you can be able to manage to find it, but the problem still remains, how can it be possible? The fact that we need to put GPS into every items might be a little bit too much and unnecessary, but there's no other choice to be able to access the items. As a result, this would be further discussed and adapt in the future of how to track the items. Some may still be confused about how to use the app and in what scenario or situation do we need to use it for. To give you an example, when you lost your favorite headphone for weeks, you still can't find it. This will allow us to see where it last located and in what area was it in. To sum this up, I do agree with the previous list I've mentioned, and the invention or application I'm interested in making is like a lost and found app. I guess that's it for now. Thank you.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about inventions. Basically, I have 2 things to say. First of all, after I watching video about top 10 inventions, I agree that all of them is the best invention because in my opinion, all of that invention is very important for us to live more comfortable. For example, to support my opinion, we need paper to do a lot of things in our daily routine, like we use paper to print or write something we want, and also books that we reading also make from papers. That means paper is very simple for our life. I will give you another example is communication. We will not be able to communicate with others easily without communication tools that help us, such as phone, computer, television. If we look back when it doesn't have communication tools, I think it's very hard to communicate with people far from us. We won't know that what happened in other country. That is all I want to explain why I'm agree with that video. Okay, let's moving on now to next topic that I want to telling you is, if I could invent anything, what would I invent? I would invent some app that give me an information of something that I don't know. For example, if I see some bird and I don't know what kind of bird, this app will give me some information about that bird, such as the species, what did it come from, its spatial ability. And this is what I want to invent. Last thing that I want to tell you is, in the world has many inventions that give many different benefits, but all of them are beneficial to all of us. Thank you.
Today I'm going to talk about a video based on inventions by WatchMojo. I have many different thoughts about the video and would like to share some to the class. I'm going to divide this video into two parts, which is why I agree with this video and the invention inspired by this video. First of all, I agree with this video because invention plays an important role in our lives, and without it, the world would be a completely different place. For example, medicine. It saves many people's lives and controls the world's population. Without it, the world would be very chaotic, and there could be a disease more dangerous than the pandemic that we're facing today. Another example of invention is printing press. Take a look at this book. It has millions of copies all over the world. And without printing press, the author would have to spend hours and hours of writing this book instead of getting a life. We have covered on why I agree on the list in a video. We will now move on to the invention inspired by this video. I would like to create a trash collecting robot because I'm very concerned about our environmental problem nowadays. By having a trash collecting robot, it can prevent trash from ending up in the ocean and other environmental places. And it can make our country cleaner and more eco-friendly. To sum up, I think invention plays an important role in our lives, and without it, we might have a flying car in the future, but who knows? Only time will tell.
Hello! I'm going to divide this talk into two parts. First, I'll talk about the top 10 list, and the second one is about my invention. Let's begin with the first one. The first topic is the top 10 video, the top 10 list of invention. Well, I gotta say I agree with that list because they all help us to live better, to have our life being easier, to live, to communicate, to eat, to drink, to do everything that we cannot do before these inventions has invented. Yeah, about like kind of that. And this allow us to do everything that we cannot do before this invention has invented. So some kind of that. Let's moving on now to the second one is the invention. If I could invent anything, I would invent an K-pop lovers app. Well, I gotta say that I am K-pop addicted, so I gotta invent the app that include pictures of K-pop idols, videos, news, and also places that K-pop idols have been traveled at like once in their life. This app will include all of the K-pop things. Well, I have used the app that have places, pictures, video, but they're in the separate apps. So it's like the innovation, it's kind of the innovation. I will put all of that into one app. It will be really easier for K-pop lovers to follow their K-pop idols, to have pictures, to save pictures, to download the pictures or video, or to follow the news. It will be easier for K-pop lovers. Yeah. Well, that's so much for both topics, so thank you for listening and watching. I'm sorry about my pronunciation and my speaking because I'm really nervous and I'm not good at pronouncing things. And thank you. See you later.